Once there was a couple named Barbara and Maitland Adams, who were so sweet and loving it just made you want to puke. And with them just being married, their friends started to ask if they'll ever have kids, to which they both looked at each other, not knowing how to answer that. Having children really never came across their minds, and unsure if they would be fit parents. But seeing how they babysat in the past and how they worked together didn't seem that hard, so they agreed. Kids it would be. One day, as Adam came home from work, Barbara ran up to him to tell him something important.
Oh, honey, I'm so glad you're home. I have something to tell you.
What? What is it?
Well, as soon as you went to work, I started feeling sick, and I've been throwing up all morning, and I'm not sure what's wrong. I called up a friend to see what she thinks, and she said I could be pregnant.
Oh my gosh, Barbara, that's great!
Yes! But I'm not really fully sure. I mean, I did buy a pregnancy test, but I haven't used it yet.
Why not?
I'm scared. What if I'm not pregnant? What if it's something wrong? What if it's...
Sweetie, I'm sure it's gonna be okay. And if it's something else, we'll get through it together. I promise.
Adam then hugged her, leaving Barbara in tears, grateful that she had a husband like him. As they were still hugging, she then said,
Adam, I love you so much, and there's another reason why I'm glad you're home.
What's that?
Well, to do the test, there's something I have to do, and I've been holding it this whole time.
Oh! Oh! Well, hurry! Take the test! If you need anything, I'll be right outside, okay?
he said as he let her go. Barbara quickly made her way to the bathroom. When she got in, she took a deep breath, opened up the box, and started to read the directions. Meanwhile, Adam was a nervous wreck, pacing back and forth in front of the door, worried on what that stick was going to say. And with him being alone with his thoughts, he started to think of all these kind of things. Like, was he making the right choice? Would he be a good father? Would Barbara even be a good mother? Just, what if something happened, like... But before any more negative thoughts came to his head, his wife came out with a big smile across her face. Because, for what that stick said, was positive, leaving them both overjoyed. As a few months went by, the side effects started to kick in, like Barbara's emotions were all over the place.
Adam, do I look fat in this dress?
What? No, honey, you look adorable.
No, you don't! You think I'm ugly and fat and you want to leave me for a hooker!
No, I don't! I would never! What?
Then came the weird cravings. With this, Adam started to lose weight because he kept getting sick from all the food that his wife wanted to eat. Between the smell and watching her eating it, did not sit well with his stomach. The worst time was once he was sent out at 4 o'clock in the morning in the dead of winter to get an anchovy and pineapple pizza with hot fudge all over it. As soon as he came back, Barbara was so pleased.
Aw, baby, you got the stuff. Thank you.
Anything my wifey wants, my wifey gets.
As he put the stuff on the kitchen table, Barbara went up, hugging him and kissing him on the cheek.
I swear, Adam, I would think you were an angel sent by God himself.
As she said that, he was having a hard time paying attention because her breasts stank, leaving him to start feeling queasy again.
Well, you know me. I'm always here to... I'll be right back.
Adam ran through the house trying to get to the bathroom in time, but he knew he was not going to make it, leaving him no choice but to open a window and vomit all over Barbara's flower bed. As a few more months went by, Barbara looked like she was about to pop, leaving her husband to be worried. One night, when they were in bed watching a movie, she noticed him staring at her belly.
What? What?
Oh, it's, nothing.
Honey, I've been seeing you act up. What's wrong?
Oh, it's just, you're 6 months pregnant, and I'm just a little scared I wouldn't be good at fatherhood.
You'll be fine. I've seen how you are around kids. You're gonna make a great dad. And if you remember the lessons in the parenting project in high school, it'll make it even easier.
Adam got confused on what she was talking about.
What parenting project?
You know, the one where you take care of an egg or a doll for a few weeks like it's a baby.
Oh, that! My mom didn't let me take that project.
Oh, for heaven's sake! Didn't your mom ever let you do anything? Come on.
What? Where are we going?
To the kitchen.
Why?
Get you a bag of flour.
Why do I need a bag of flour?
After Barbara explained the plan, Adam at first felt a little silly doing this, but when a few weeks went by, he started to get the hang of it. Until things started getting out of hand. First, Adam gave the bag a name. Then he started putting baby clothes on it. Then, whenever their friends came over, he treated the flour like it was alive, leaving everyone really uncomfortable and feeling sorry for his wife. And just as things couldn't get more insane, he started bringing the thing in public. Like one day when they went to a grocery store and as Barbara was looking at her list, she turned to Adam and asked,
Honey, can you go down the aisle and get me a...
Wait a minute, Barbara! I think Rudy needs to go to the potty. Be right back.
he said as he picked up the bag of flour out of the car and headed to the restroom. While doing that, Adam didn't seem to notice that people were looking at him, unsure if they heard that right. Well, Barbara, seeing this, was fully embarrassed. And seeing one of the customers having their phone out videotaping this, she just wanted to crawl in a hole and die. She wanted to put an end to this, but didn't know how. She was trying to help him from his fear of becoming a father, but she was worried it just made things worse. But luckily, it seemed that one of the friends gave Adam a bit of a reality check. One day, as he was driving and stopped at a red light, everything was all quiet. Not a word was spoken. But then suddenly, he turned around in the back seat and said,
Rudy, so help me, if you don't knock it off, I will turn this car around right now.
His friend who was sitting in the passenger seat also looked to see who he was talking to. And when he saw that it was the flower, she couldn't take it anymore and knew this had to be stopped.
Dude, are you okay?
Yeah, why?
Well, you just scolded a bag of flour.
Oh, that. I'm just learning on how to be a father, and proving that as a baby has really helped.
I understand that, but don't you think you're going a little too far with this?
Come on, I'm fine.
Well, from what we've seen and from what Barbara told us, we're starting to get a little worried about your mental health.
Oh, come on, I'm fine.
His friend pulled out her phone, showing him the video on YouTube that was taken the day that him and his wife went to the store. And without him seeing this, he was surprised, now realizing what she meant by him going too far. Felt like an idiot. He knew he had to make things right. When he got home, he found Barbara in the living room reading a book. As he went up to her, he gave her some flowers and started to apologize.
Honey, I just want to say I'm sorry for the way I acted. I guess my nervousness got the best of me.
Oh, Adam, I understand. And I'm glad you're finally seeing this. Though I was getting scared for a minute.
Well, don't you worry. From now on, it's gonna be me, you, and this baby. No more flower babies.
When a few more months went by, the day was finally here. But it didn't quite go as smoothly as they hoped. You see, one day, as Barbara was in the kitchen washing dishes, when suddenly...
Oh no!
She then made a grab for her phone and called her husband, who was at work.
Barbara, what is sir?
Adam, I need you to come home.
Why? What's wrong?
My water just broke. It's time.
It's time? Oh my gosh. Okay, I'll be there in a few minutes. It's just do your breathing and whatever you do, don't push.
He said as he was looking for his keys. After he hanged up, he made his way to his car and drove to the house to pick up his wife, and made their way to the hospital. But on the way there was one little problem. a traffic jam, and seeing how long it was, they were unsure if they were going to get there in time.
Adam, the baby's coming!
I know, honey, I know. Just do your breathing and...
No! I mean, the baby is coming now! I can feel its head!
What? No! Not here! Not now! No!
Adam's anxiety was already through the roof, and the last thing he needed was trying to deliver a baby. But it seemed that God has answered the prayers because the traffic soon cleared up. When they got to the hospital and to the delivery room, the doctors kinda had some bad news. With Barbara being so far along in her labor, they would have no choice but for her to give birth without anything to help her with the pain. While the delivery was happening, Adam tried to do what he could to comfort his wife, like letting her hold his hand, which was a completely bad idea because as soon as she grabbed it, all the bones immediately turned to dust. As holding back tears, he still tried to do what he could to be a good husband.
Shh, come on, sweetie, you can do this. Just push. That's it, push. Now breathe. Keep breathing.
If you don't shut the fuck up, you will never breathe again!
Finally, the baby was here, and as soon as the couple held him, they were in tears of joy.
Barbara, he's beautiful.
I know.
Can't believe we're finally parents.
I know.
What are we gonna call him?
I don't know.
After a few moments of picking out a name, they finally got one that seemed to fit well. Timothy. Timothy Maitlands. After a few weeks went by, the couple started to learn about the good things and the bad things about parenthood. One that's a real pain is not getting a good night's sleep.
Your turn.
No, your turn.
He's your son.
Now, for sunrise, he's your son.
Adam.
Oh, fine.
And just as things going to get more stressful, the other day as Barbara was in a coffee shop waiting for Adam to stop by, the baby started crying, leaving her to know that he was hungry. So she took out a blanket to cover herself and started breastfeeding. And everything seemed to be going well until she heard a
Ahem.
Barbara, who was looking at her phone, picked up her head to see what that noise was, but there was nothing. So she went back to texting until she heard the noise again.
Ahem.
When she looked up again, this time she saw a woman on the other side of the room, looking right at her, not looking too happy.
Can I help you?
Do you mind not doing that?
Doing what?
Exposing yourself!
When she said that, Barbara quickly looked down at her dress. She didn't see anything wrong, but still she tried to fix it up, thinking the problem was solved. When she went back to her phone, the rude lady was still at it.
Ma'am, you're still exposing yourself!
Where?
How can you not see it? You have your breasts out! It's setting a bad example for my daughter!
First off, her breasts were not out. They were covered with a blanket. Second, the woman's daughter, who was around 10, was not even facing to see what was going on. She had sound-canceling headphones while playing a game on her phone. But still, the rude lady did not care.
Put them away!
I'm feeding my baby!
Well, you shouldn't! Studies have shown that breast milk causes more damage to the brain than vaccines!
Now, Barbara was the kind of person who didn't take crap from anyone. But knowing how exhausted she was, her emotions got the best of her and started to cry. Just as she did, Adam walked in.
Hi, honey, how's... Barbara? Are you okay? What's wrong?
Before she could answer, the rude lady spoke up.
Sir, is this your wife?
What?
You need to take that baby away from her! She's abusing the poor thing!
Hearing that left him totally confused. Who was this lady? Why was his wife crying? What was happening? He then turned to Barbara, asking her side of the story.
I didn't do anything. I was just feeding the baby and she started yelling at me about being a horrible mother and how breastfeeding is wrong.
Now, Adam was not the kind of guy who could stand up for himself, but when it comes to something that just makes him really angry, like someone making his wife cry, that's when he would start growing a pair.
Ma'am, what is wrong with you? My wife is doing something that most mothers have been doing for generations.
No, they haven't. They've always fed babies with bottles of formula. And studies have also shown that when it comes to breastfeeding, it makes men more sexist towards women.
What the hell is going on around here?
Said the manager, who was trying to get some work done. The rude lady turned to him.
What? Are you the manager?
Yes, I am.
Good. I want you to call the cops, or the CPS, or the local news.
For what?
For that!
She yelled, pointing at Barbara, who was still feeding her baby. The manager just looked at her, not believing she was wasting her time on this.
Are you fucking kidding me?
With the rude lady hearing that, she was surprised that nobody was on her side. She started packing things up and turned to the manager and said,
You'll be hearing from my lawyer. Come on, Brittany.
Brittany, being the woman's daughter, was in her own little world, not hearing what she said until her mom started pulling on the back of her hoodie, causing her to choke. She dropped her phone, but before she could tell her, they were already out of the door, leaving the Maitlands just standing there, hoping they were not going to become that. After a few years went by, their son, who was now 5 years old, was the sweetest little boy you would ever meet, leaving the couple to be so proud. One day, as Adam was walking past Timmy's room, he noticed him what looked like he was talking and playing with a friend, but there was no one there. And at first he was a little concerned, thinking maybe he had schizophrenia or something, but then he remembered when it comes to kids and imagination, it's always the key to their little games. So he went back to what he was doing. But for what the parents didn't know was there was someone in the room, but only Timmy could see him. He was a man in a dirty striped suit, with green hair, teeth and skin that was rotted as can be. And as he was playing with the little boy, he was having the time of his life, because with this child, the plan that he had was gonna work.